Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to the We All Juggle Knives channel. In this video I'm going to review a utility knife Firestarter. That item there, it is keychain-sized. This came in a 2-pack for $12, so $6 a piece. I'll include a link if you want to pick one up. It's a very interesting item. There it is in hand, so to deploy the blade you push on that switch, and it is an auto-retracting style of safety cutter. Right, now to make sparks, you take the striker and you strike it on that strip right there. The striker is what I'm unscrewing there. Now that also has a wick. Right, now you fill that reservoir with lighter fluid, you dip the wick, and then you strike and try to catch a spark on it. I'm using some Zippo brand lighter fluid. I'll include a link to that if you need some more lighter fluid. So you fill that reservoir, but don't fill it all the way. You want to leave a little room for that striker. You don't want it to overflow. So now you dip the wick. Alright, you want to see this thing work. So it takes a few tries usually. It doesn't always light on the first try, but there you go. It's a little difficult if you have large hands or if your hands are just frozen. It was pretty cold that day. Alright, but there you go. After a few strikes, it lights that, and that's what they call the permanent match. Okay, let's see this lighting some shavings that I made previously. And like I said, it doesn't always light on the first try, but maybe with practice it would, but it will eventually light. So this Firestarter is actually a very old design. It's usually called the permanent match, and I remember we had these back when I was a child, which was a long time ago, right? So this Firestarter design, this has been around forever, but what caught my eye on this is that they incorporated a little utility cutter into this design, which I thought was pretty cool, pretty innovative. I mean, that's useful day to day. It is a small cutter, best used just for opening mail. I don't know if you want to tackle thick cardboard. I mean, it's very small. Yeah, so, predictably, such a thin utility knife blade is going to be, almost scalpel sharp. So that's useful. That could come in handy on your keychain, definitely, like I said, mainly for opening mail or just little cutting tasks. But I think it makes it a lot more viable because I don't always need to start a fire necessarily, but a utility cutter can justify putting this on my keychain day to day. But one thing you should know, the wick is just meant to hold a little bit of the lighter fluid. So if you let it burn until there's no more fluid on the wick itself will burn up. All right, so don't just light it and let it burn. Light it and then light your tinder and then put it out, right, so that you don't burn the wick up. Now there is a small screw on this, and if you unscrew that, you can actually remove that panel. So theoretically, you could replace the utility knife blade on this if you had a spare blade. And that's that. So you can take that apart. You could also remove the blade and use it to store a tinder or something like that. I definitely like little items like this. It's not going to replace my fire steel or my primary source of fire, but it's always good to have convenient little backups. Speaking of keychain-sized items, here is part of my collection of keychain-sized and micro everyday carry-sized utility items. Over the years, I've tried out, tested, and accumulated a lot of potentially useful items. So in the text description box below the video, I'm going to include an updated master list of micro everyday carry and keychain utility items such as this, all the ones that are still available, that is. And for your convenience, I'm going to separate it into different categories like mini multi-tools, mini folding knives, lighters, lights, carabiners, and so forth. So definitely check out those links if you're looking to put together an everyday carry kit. I mean, pretty much everybody carries a set of keys, right? So just a few compact items on those keys, that can actually be very convenient and very useful to you. Alright YouTube, I really hope you enjoyed this video. In the comments section, you can share what you're carrying on your EDC keychain these days. Alright, this has been We All Juggle Knives. I'm out.